So I'm about to make the longest trip so far that I've taken on the Ruckus so far. If you haven't seen my recent videos, I picked up a 2016 Honda Ruckus last week. I think last week. Put about like 60 miles on it so far, but right now I'm gonna drive it downtown. It's about 20 to 25 miles. Normally pretty much all highway, but I have to figure out a route that the Ruckus can do, because it does about 35 miles per hour reliably, and maybe on a downhill 45. We'll see how it goes, and we'll talk about why I got the Ruckus. So I'm gonna get my gear on and we'll head out.
Alright, so I have to put it onto bicycle mode because I don't want to ride on the highway, and I don't even want to ride on the frontage road. Alright, let's go. Oh, gotta plug in my phone. Alright, so it says 2 hours, 2 minutes, 23 miles, 825. Obviously this is bicycle. It's not going to take that long, but I fully expect it to take quite a while. The Ruckus is going to be at full throttle nearly the entire time. I'm curious how this is going to work out. I think I need gas soon. Actually, maybe not. I think it gets like 125 miles to the gallon. And I've done 65 on this tank. Yeah, we're doing 37. The speed limit is 45, and I feel like I'm slowing down. At least the gas light hasn't come on. So speaking of the fact that this thing can't maintain speed, why on earth did I get a Honda Ruckus? So if you don't watch my videos, or you missed the past 1 to 2 weeks of my videos, you may not know that I bought the Honda Ruckus, and you may not know what else I was looking at. There's 3 main bikes that I was looking at getting. You gotta remember that this is the 4th bike that I have right now. Not the 4th bike that I've owned, but I own 4 bikes right now. One is in the process of being sold. I have a Yamaha R1 Super Sport leader bike, really fast. I have a WR250X. It's a 250cc Supermoto, and that's the one that's being sold. And then I have a CRF 450R converted into a Supermoto. That's the build series that I just completed. And I love doing the build series so much, and part of selling the WR was to get another bike that I could do a build series on. You know, I'm not going to ride the WR anymore. I have a Supermoto in the CRF now. Oh, he gave me a wave! He's waving to the scooter bro! He was riding a cruiser of some sort, so whether it was a Harley or not, it was a cruiser. Oh, I can't stay here. I gotta maintain my speed, people. This white car can catch up, and then I'll move back into my lane. Oh, he's not going, nope, he's not speeding up, and I'm slowing down. I'm going 37. You're going slower than me. The speed limit's 45. I don't know if you guys can see them in my mirror. Oh, crap. I'm like using hand signals as well. I want to make sure that they see me. See, these are the interesting things that I come across riding this. Like, I want to, more so than on a motorcycle, I want to make sure that everybody knows where I am. So yeah, this is interesting. Like the bicycle routing on Google Maps, like sending me through neighborhoods as much as possible. Okay, so well, I lost my train of thought. What was I even talking about? I remember. I was telling you guys what bikes I have. So yeah, I wasn't going to ride the WR anymore, and then I got the CRF converted to a Supermoto. So that was the one to go. You know, it's been a while. If you want to watch the video on saying goodbye to the WR, you can get all the information about that. If you want to watch the video on why I got the WR, you can watch that too. I'll link those down in the description. But this is not about that. This is why I got the Ruckus. So it's my 4th bike, and you got, like, I got a Super Sport that goes ridiculously fast. I have a Supermoto now that's a 450cc motocross race bike Supermoto that goes ridiculously fast, and people are getting on my case about buying the Honda Ruckus. And I'm like, I don't need something that goes fast. I just want something that I can have fun on. So I got the Honda Ruckus. And yes, the other bikes that I could have gotten, I would have had fun on. There was the R3, the Honda Grom, the new one, the 2017. They just did a kind of redesign, and then the Honda Ruckus. I can't really say what would have been my second choice. I want to say the Grom. I had reasons for both of them, and this is just going to be me, like, being completely transparent with you guys. The Honda Grom is really popular right now. I rode the 2015 Honda Grom. Jake the Garden Snake let me ride his when he came into town last year for the Texas meetup. I didn't really like it. I made a video called Why I Hate the Honda Grom, or I Hate the Honda Grom, or something like that. I just didn't like it. It was uncomfortable for me, and I couldn't really see myself riding it. Like, I couldn't see any situation where I'd want to ride the Honda Grom over like my Supermoto, so I didn't get it. Like, the curve for the popularity of the Honda Grom, like, it's going up. Like, it's really popular, and you may not know this, but it took a little while for the Honda Grom to surpass the Ruckus in like just general public popularity. There's more people doing stuff for the Honda Ruckus, and there's still a ton of people doing for the Honda Ruckus. It hasn't really dropped. But the Honda Grom is a really popular little bike. Like, a lot of people are doing some cool things with it. But if you're not really familiar with the Honda Ruckus, you may not really know that there is a massive Honda Ruckus community. Like, the stuff that you can do with this bike is insane. Like, people are dropping these, they're stretching them, they're swapping motors. Like, of any bike, like any motorized two-wheel vehicle, the Honda Ruckus is like, it's normal to do an engine swap. Like, people do those as like a normal mod for these things. You pick up an engine for like $400 or $500 for these things, for like the complete setup. You swap it in, you got a 150cc motor in here. Like, it's normal. You look at these custom Ruckus builds, and they look like completely new bikes. Obviously, they still look like a Ruckus. They're pretty custom. It's not like they're just changing a few things, you know, maybe changing the headlights or like doing a fender eliminator or changing the fairings up a little bit. Like, they look like very unique bikes from just a stock Ruckus. Anyways, my point being, there's a lot of stuff you can do to a Ruckus, and that's one of the big reasons that I got it. Like, I bought this bike, one, to have something that was fun for me, that was unique, fun, and I could actually see myself riding like a good amount. There's always going to be a bike that I have that I may ride a little bit more than another one, but I don't want to own something if I'm never going to ride it, right? The other piece is that, like, I want to do a build series on this. I want to bring you guys along with the process of actually showing you what you can do with this bike. You know, I had so much fun doing the 450, the CRF 450R Supermoto build, converting a dirt bike into a completely different bike in a Supermoto. Like, the purpose of those two things are completely different, and what you can do with them are completely different. Where am I? I'm taking roads that I never, oops, excuse me. I love doing that build series, like filming the videos, hanging out with my boy Fry Riding, editing the videos, and like, you guys really enjoyed them. It's been some of those entertaining content that I've made, like both for myself and for you guys. Oh, get it, boy? Get it? Get it? So yeah, one of the big reasons for the bike choice is, like, how good of a build series can it be? Like, can I have fun, and do I have a lot of options for the direction I can take with it, and make an entertaining series for both me and you guys? I get some people saying, it makes no sense that you got the Ruckus, you only got it for the views. And I have to go back to the first video when I went bike shopping for the 3 bikes, and I put 3 comments. And obviously this isn't like the most foolproof way to do a survey, but I did 3 comments. One that said, get the R3, one that said, get the Ruckus, and one that said, get the Grom. And in order, it was the R3 with like 1,000 likes, the Grom with like 700 or 800 likes, and the Ruckus with 400 likes. Like, if I wanted to do views, I would have gotten an R3. One of the reasons that I wanted to do the R3 was because it's one of the best beginner bikes that you can get. Like, obviously there's a huge demand in viewership for that bike because people want to know, you know, what can I do with my R3? Most of the people getting an R3 are new to motorcycles. Like, when I got my SV650, I didn't even do a fender eliminator kit because I wasn't really familiar with motorcycles, so I didn't know like what the most basic things you can do with a bike. And I think that I could have had a lot of fun getting an R3, and I probably will get something like an R3 in the future because I think it's I want to provide value. Call it getting something for views, whatever you want to call it. Part of me doing this channel, aside from just entertainment, is providing value for people. Like, I want to be able to help you guys, and I think getting something like an R3 and showing like balls to the wall what you can do with something that's in many people's eyes a beginner bike, I think that's a really cool idea. I think that it'd be really helpful. I decided against it at the time because one of the big reasons for choosing the type of bike is because I wanted it to be something that I could see myself riding all the time. And you go back and you watch that bike shopping video that I made, watch me get on all 3 of those bikes and tell me my initial reaction on the Ruckus does not give away what decision I would end up making. I sent this tweet out on Twitter, and you can follow me on Twitter if you want. It's @Motonosity. I said there's 2 types of people: those that know how much fun a scooter can be no matter how slow, and those that haven't ridden a scooter. Because like, you get on these things, and I have an R1. I can go over 150 miles per hour on that thing, but I have so much fun on this freaking slow 35-mile-per-hour scooter. If you just think about speed, you wouldn't expect. But there's something fun about just romping on something that is slow. It's more fun to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow. Or I don't know what people say, but like you can't really, like, you take a freaking 911 turbo out on a track and it's gonna be really hard to max that thing out, but you take a little Mazda Miata and you can put that thing to its limits. Oh, I'm supposed to turn. And yes, it is fun to ride a fast bike fast as well. Like, I take my R1 to the track, I have fun romping on that thing on the highway. But you know, I also find the fun in riding something as slow as this. One of my most fun series to make was my San Francisco scooter series. Me and Chase on Two Wheels went out to San Francisco in 2014. Scully Helmets brought us out there, rest in peace, y'all suck. On a whim, we decided to rent a couple of scooters and explore San Francisco that way. And I cannot imagine a better way to explore San Francisco than on scooters. It was one of the most fun times I've ever had on two wheels. You may say, well, you can do that on the Grom too. The Grom is super slow. Why didn't you just get that one? Well, I come back to the point that, like, the Grom it's just another motorcycle. But the Ruckus is not. Like, yes, it is a motorized vehicle on two wheels, but it feels different. Like, I get on an R1, I get on a supermoto, and at their most basic, you're straddling a motor and hold on to the handlebars. Like, I don't know, it just, like, riding a scooter, it just feels like a different vehicle. So it's unlike any of the other stuff that I have. Don't get me wrong, like, I understand the appeal of them, and I think they are really fun vehicles. Like, there's a reason that they're one of the most popular bikes right now. But I just didn't see myself having as much fun on the Grom as the Ruckus. Not to mention the mods you can do on this thing. Like, y'all are questioning me, and that's fine. Like, I want you guys to be involved in the decisions that I make. But when it comes down to it, like, I gotta make the final decision, and I'm so stoked. I'm really excited, and I think you guys will be too as you start watching the build series for this thing. I think that this is going to be one of the coolest bikes that I own. Like, more so than the Supermoto, more so than the R1. Like, the Supermoto is freaking legit, but like, this is just so much more unique. Someone looks at a Super Sport and yeah, it's like, it's really cool. Someone looks at the Supermoto and be like, damn boy, look at what you did to that thing. Like, they're gonna see the Ruckus and they'll be like, what? Like, what is going on? What is this thing? Of course, I'm talking about the Ruckus and it's like in its final form once I'm done with it. But I don't know, guys. Like, I think you're gonna come around. I know there's a lot of you out there that know exactly what I'm saying. You understand it. You're like, yep, this thing is going to be legit. There's a lot of you guys out there that are just friggin', you're like, Brent, you're delusional. Like, you shouldn't have gotten this thing. It's terrible. It's slow. It's pathetic. And you are going to regret buying it. And I think you guys are going to come around. I really do. I'm hungry. I'm actually meeting my wife and a couple of friends downtown for dinner. They're leaving in like, actually they may have already left now. They're planning on getting there at 7:15. I left 30 minutes before them. Speed run. See, this is what I'm telling you. Like, on a downhill, this thing can push 45. I'm doing 40 right now. On a good hill with a long enough stretch of road, you can have 45 on this. I've been riding this thing multiple times a day. Every time I get on this thing, I have a blast. Like, taking this thing as fast as we'll go, trying to push it to 40 miles per hour. Like, 40 miles per hour is slow. But when you're trying to get there on this thing, like, you gotta understand that you don't have anything between your legs on this. In before jokes in the comment section about things between my legs. But, like, it's different. Like, going 40 miles per hour, like, just kind of essentially sitting in a chair, it's a little bit weird. Just so my whole entire vlog isn't me riding through neighborhoods, I'm gonna pause here and pick back up when I get downtown. Oh man, look at that sunset. Oh, ain't that glorious? Yes, downhill speed run. Oh, we're turning left. Okay. Oh, it's red line. It's red line. It wasn't letting me pick up any speed. Interesting. I was like 43, so I guess it topped out at 43. I had to a pretty good place downtown. It's called Bangers. They sell sausages. That didn't really help my clarification of that, did it? They sell edible sausages. That didn't help either, did it? You know, the ones you eat. They're long. God. My wife just messaged me and said that they're already there, and I got 19 minutes to go. It'll probably end up being half that, but still. Man, look at this sky. Oh, that looks awesome. Let me get these buildings out of the way so I can... That looks legit. So when I left, it said I would get there at 8:25. Now it says 7:35 is my potential arrival time, and I'll probably knock off 10 minutes from that. Had to pull over and swap batteries. The other one died. If I was riding one of my other bikes, I'd be able to make it downtown without battery dying. Over here on the left is University of Texas. See, these things are made for college campus commuting. Look, it's a fellow ruckus. What do ruckus riders call themselves? Ruckisonites? There's got to be a name. I'm using a non-GoPro battery right now, and for some reason it doesn't stay recording. The GoPro like randomly thinks it's completely dead when it's not. So it's gonna shut off. It's already shut off once before, but I hope that gives you guys some insight on why I bought the Ruckus. I will tell you, after a week of owning it, I got no regrets. I am in love with this thing. I cannot wait to do the build series on it, but if it stayed in its current form... I had to turn my camera back on again because it turned off, but